Oi, what's happening? I'm Eddie, the Skinhead Gourmet. Today we're going to be making, we'll call it Cajun soup. Not quite jambalaya, it's still good. Here we go.
It's that funky funk. It's that funky funk. It's that funky funky funk funky 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 funky. You're no monkey. I'm not a monkey, but I can funk it. I can funk it. It's that funky funk. It's that funky funk. It's that funky funk. See, man, I've got crab in my pants, man. Ah! Crab in my pants. I've got crab in my pants. I've got crab in my pants. Who let the fire keep on burning my soul? Who let the fire and it can't grow cold? This fire, man.
So I want to explain what's special about this little guy here. It's referred to as a bouquet garni. It's aromatic herbs. For this specific soup, I'm going to be using about 5 bunches of basil leaves and about 10 little sprigs of marjoram. I've tied them together at the bottom so I can put them in and take them out. We'll get all the flavor out, but we won't leave all that vegetable matter in there. It's going to add a whole lot of flavor, and it's definitely going to make a good soup. Now for a recipe like this, you're going to want to lay out what the French call a mise en place. You're going to get everything ready before you start cooking, so that when it's time, you can just start putting it all in. So I've got all my ingredients pretty much laid out. I've already got my andouille sausage and duck fat starting to cook. And I've got a pot with 4 cups of water, 2 cups of stock, plus a pint of Guinness, and 1 tomato diced up, as well as my duck and turkey meat from the stock episode. I'm going to put in my bouquet garni and let this guy start going for a little bit. Alright, once you just start to get a little bit of heat into your stock pot, you're going to want to add your rice right in. You're going to let that soak some of the liquid up, and it's also going to suck in a whole lot of that flavor, so that when it's done, this is just going to be tasty, tasty, tasty. Alright, one thing that I love doing with any kind of soups, chilies, and pretty much anything that's kind of liquidy is usually put in a little bit of beer. It's going to add a nice sharp flavor. Usually the rule of thumb, it's the same as cooking with wine. You always want to use something you would drink on your own. With Guinness, you're going to get a little bit of a bitter flavor, but it's going to be hearty. It's definitely going to just make it feel fuller than it really is. Plus, anything you got left over, not bad for the cook either. Now you can see this andouille sausage is starting to get nice and brown, and I haven't rendered the duck fat. I just threw it in whole. It's starting to brown and kind of puff up. So I'm going to toss in my blackened shrimp for a second. That's going to take less than a minute to cook, and then it's all into the pot. Alright, the shrimp is just about all the way cooked. So I'm going to start adding some of my herbs, our parsley and green onion, and mushrooms, right into this pan here, as well as our shallots and carrots. I'm just going to let them get cooked for just a little bit. Going to get them nice and mixed up in there, just to catch some of that flavor and to get a little bit cooked before they go into the big pot. Alright, so our andouille sausage, duck fat, shrimp, as well as our carrots, green onions, parsley, and shallots are all nice, pretty well cooked. The shrimp's about halfway done. We're going to take all of this and put it right into this big boiling pot with our stock and everything else. We're going to let this simmer boil for about 10 or 15 minutes, then we're going to put a top on it and let it simmer for about 3-4 hours. Okay, so our soup's had a few hours to simmer, and it's taken on a very nice brown color. And as you pull it out, you notice there's not a whole lot of liquid left to it. It should reduce down a little bit. But what you end up with is a very hearty soup. It's going to taste great, somewhat healthy, and wonderful to enjoy with friends. Before I close out my episode, I wanted to take a second. It's the second one in a row where I've had a beer in my hand while I've done it, and before anybody gets their panties in a bunch. I don't want to say I'm trying to glamorize alcohol, but from time to time it's excellent to cook with. One or two, if you're responsible with it, aren't bad. Great thinkers through history have been a fan, from Ben Franklin saying beer is proof of God loves us and wants us to be happy, or people like Preeminent Blood or Kyle Trojan Murphy saying Guinness is proof of a kind and loving God. Now, maybe there's something to that. It does make it a little easier to go down. Keep cooking and stay safe. Oi, oi.
Grab your beer in one hand, your car keys in the other, and then you go drink, 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 drink.